There are billions of pounds in lost pensions in the UK just waiting to be claimed. So in this video, I'll talk you through how to track down any lost pensions. So, how do you lose a pension? A pension can be lost if you move house without updating your contact details with the pension provider, meaning you'll no longer receive any paperwork. You can also lose track of a workplace pension if you change jobs. Pension providers can also make your life more difficult by merging or rebranding, so it can be difficult to work out who is looking after your pension. Unclaimed pensions in the UK are typically held by pension providers or in schemes. If you lost track of your pensions or failed to claim them, the funds will remain invested in these accounts. Over time, unclaimed pensions might be transferred to dormant accounts or schemes, but if you do find the pension, you are able to claim them and get the access to the funds that you deserve. It might go without saying, but finding a lost pension is always worthwhile because at the end of the day, it's your money. Finding these pensions can give you an extra boost for retirement, potentially allowing you to retire earlier or to enjoy a higher standard of living in retirement. Even if you didn't work somewhere for long, it's still worth finding out if there's any old pensions, as because of the long-term growth, you could be pleasantly surprised with the value. Now, onto the important bit, how do you actually find your lost pensions? If you know your national insurance number, as well as the name of your old employer or pension provider, this can be a great place to start. Armed with this information, you can use the government's pension tracing service to find the contact details of the pension scheme or administrator. If you don't know these details or the name of your employer or pension provider has changed, it can be slightly more difficult to track down the old pensions, but here's a step-by-step guide to help you locate your pensions. First of all, you need to gather information, collect any relevant documents such as pension statements, old contracts or pay slips, or any letters from any pension providers. This can help you to remember where you might have had a pension in the past, and with this information, you can use the government pension tracing service, which I mentioned earlier. If you know the name of your old employer or pension provider, you can retrieve their contact details via this system. You can also contact former employers or colleagues that you worked with to try and help gather the information about where their pensions are held. Once you've found the pension provider, you can then provide them with any relevant information about yourself so that they can update their records. You should also look for any mergers and acquisitions. Some pension schemes over time have changed multiple times, so it's just about following that audit trail of where your pension may have gone. It's also important to stay patient. Some of these pension providers take a while to write back, and using this checklist, you should eventually be able to get access to the pension. If you follow that checklist, you should eventually get to where you need to be. So that begs the question, what should you do once you've found the details of your old pensions? Once you've located your old pension, ask the pension provider for details of the current value, the underlying investments, and any retirement options. At this point, make sure you update your contact details with the providers so that you do receive further communications from them. You also may want to consider updating your death benefits at this point. The next step will depend on your personal preference, time of life, and how the pension is performing. You may want to consider consolidating the old pensions into one pot for easier management. You can potentially do this yourself, but it can be a scary process, so you may need to get professional advice. We'll be creating another video on how you do this soon, so don't forget to subscribe to receive our regular updates. Even if you don't consolidate your pensions, it's then useful to keep track of the performance going forward. You could perhaps do this annually to ensure that your pension values aligns with your retirement goals. Thank you for watching. I'm Matthew, a Chartered Financial Planner at Wealth Advice, and if you have any questions, please leave in the comments below, and I hope you found this video useful.